Hi friends, Yoda Learning is glad to launch this VBA classes for your consideration. This VBA class is a structured and comprehensive online training program for learning Microsoft Excel VBA. It is full of real-world examples and useful theory. The aim of VBA classes is to make a beginner an expert in VBA. You can easily learn VBA by working your way through the variety of few lessons that we offer you in this training. If you think that creating macros is too complicated or beyond your capacity, don't worry. This course is intended for those of us who are just starting out in programming. So it starts from zero. Just like our Excel course, these lessons have lots of examples and we have simplified them as much as possible so that it's easy to learn VBA. We recommend that you work your way through the lessons across in the order in which they are provided, because at each level you will need the skills acquired in the previous one. So let's see what the course includes. So our course includes recording of a macro. We will deal with the fundamentals of VBA. We will see how to build the procedures in VBA. We will see how to work with the VBA functions. Then we will see how to work with the VBA codes. We will understand how to work with the dialog boxes. Then we will understand what are Excel object models. We will see how to manipulate Excel objects. We will see how to work with the loops to make your work repetitive. Then we will see how to trigger the events in VBA. Then we will see how to create add-ins in VBA Excel. Then we will see how to handle the errors in VBA. Then slowly and steadily we will understand how to work with the arrays in VBA and what are they. We will also see how to work with the user forms, how to create them, and how to input the data using the user forms. Then we will work with some of the live projects in VBA. And we also have some of the case studies for you so that you can understand VBA better. Our next video comprises of understanding of macros. So firstly we will understand what are macros, and then we will understand what is a VBA and how to work with the VBA. Thank you.
Hello. Greetings everyone. In this video, I will make you understand what is a macro. Macros are very useful. Have you ever been tired of spending too much time on the repetitive tasks in Excel, suspecting that there must be a better way? Perhaps you needed to reformat multiple tables or reorganize the data in an Excel worksheet several times. If these or similar tasks are familiar, then you really need to know about the macros. Macros, what are they? A macro is a collection of commands that you can apply with a single click and helps you automate almost anything you do in Excel. Are the macros a type of programming? Macros are programming, but you do not need to be a developer or even have programming knowledge to use them. Now, when and why should we use macros? Macros save time and expand the capabilities of the programs you use every day. They reduce the possibility of human error that increases with many repetitive keystrokes and tasks. They also make complex computations easier to perform. How are macros created? You can record a series of actions which are repeated day by day, or you can even write your own macros using the VBA. Recording a macro is almost as simple as turning a tape recorder on and off. When you use a macro recorder, a macro is automatically written for you based on the actions you take. How to save a macro? When you are working with the macros in Excel 2007 or any higher version, you save and open the workbooks in a new macro enabled workbook format. That is, you have to save your file with the extension .xlsm that provides added security to the macros. When you create a macro, you must use this format to save your workbook or the macro won't be saved. Now let's see how to use the macros with the help of the videos ahead. Now we are to the end of this session. I hope the concept of macro is clear to you. In our further videos, I will show you how to use the macros. Thank you.
I will walk you through the tour of automating the tasks in Excel. Have a quick look on the following data. Don't you think the data is not formatted? What I need to do to format the data? I'll select the data and apply the formats. Oh my god, how this is done? This is nothing, but I have automated my own custom format and applied it here. In this video, I will be explaining you when and how will I automate the task in Excel. So let's have an overview to this. Do you have the common tasks that you perform over and over again in Microsoft Excel? For instance, do you often apply the same combination of formats, or do you receive the data every week or month that you organize and analyze the same way every time? You can use a macro to combine all of the steps in a task into a single command. A macro records your mouse clicks and keystrokes while you work and lets you play them back later. You can use a macro to record the sequence of commands you use to perform a certain task. When you run the macro, it plays those exact commands back in the same order, causing the Excel to behave just as if you had entered the commands yourself. There are two ways in which you can automate the task in Excel. You can either record your own macro, or you can write your own macro using the VBA language. Now, when will you record a macro, and why do you record a macro, and how? When a macro is recorded, you will often create a substantial amount of code that is completely unnecessary and will include the unwanted steps like scroll downs and the clicks. This is often the most simplest method to create the automation. All you need to do is go to the View tab here. At the extreme right, you will see the macro icon. Click on the drop down and you will see the option that is Record Macro. Click on the Record Macro. It will ask you to give a certain name to the macro. So here you can give the name as Table Format. And then it will ask you to assign a shortcut key. You can simply assign any shortcut key you want and store it in this workbook and say OK. You can then follow the steps you normally take and it will record every move you make in the Excel. Once you click the stop button, the macro will be available for repeating these exact steps whenever you need. So how can you stop the macro now? All you need to click on the drop down again and say stop recording. That was how one can record a macro. Then what about writing the macro? And how can I do that? Yes, you can do that using the VBA scripts. Using effective VBA scripts allows you to eliminate the unnecessary steps which involves your speed. This becomes a very important factor as you add more steps, apply to growing data sets, or when multiple functions are involved. Remember, your computer has to walk through each step in your script, so keeping it short is the key. Macros are easy to create. You tell Excel to start recording, perform actions as you normally do, and then tell Excel when you are done. Behind the scenes, Excel uses a programming language called Visual Basic for the application to record your instructions. As you see, we have a macro here. You can go to the view macros. I created a macro named table_form. You can simply click on edit. If you see here, this was my earlier macro that I created for the table format. So I recorded the macro for the table format, and this is how it created the code at the background. Can we see this? So here we have a huge code. You don't have to know anything about programming or VBA to create and use the macros that will save your time and make your work easier. In the further videos, I will show you how to create and use a simple macro that formats a cell. Then change this macro to make it do even more. It also explains your options for storing the macros so that you can use them for any workbook. Applying the formats is a fairly simple macro example, but you can record the macros to do more complex tasks like retrieving and filtering the external data, creating and customizing the charts, and more. Thank you.
Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, I will show you how to record a simple macro. For recording a simple macro, you can go to the View tab here, and here on the extreme right there is an option to record a macro. Or you can go to the Developer tab here and click on a record macro. So we'll see how to record the macro here. If you don't have the Developer tab here, you can go to the File tab, click on the Options, go to the Customize ribbon. Here you will find an option to enable the Developer tab. If it is already enabled, you can just X this out and go to the Developer tab and click on Record Macro. So I'll click on Record Macro here. You need to assign a name to your macro. I'll say logo. You can assign a shortcut key here to the macro so that if you want to reapply this macro, you can simply press the shortcut key and you can enable the one. I'll say Ctrl+Shift+Q. While assigning a shortcut key, you have to keep in mind one thing, that it should not be applied to any other function or a feature in Excel. Now here there are different ways of storing the macro that I will explain you in our later video, but as of now you can just simply click on this workbook here from the drop down. You can also assign a description to this macro. Say for example, sheet. I'll say OK. So my recording is started. Be very careful while recording. I'll select this cell. I'll type Yoda Learning. I'll select this. I'll highlight it. I'll increase the size of this and I'll stop recording here. Now if I want to apply this logo again, I'll say Ctrl Shift Q. Since I selected A1, I'll delete this and I'll say here Ctrl Shift Q. Now if you see, my logo is enabled. It will only be applied as if now in cell A1 because we selected cell A1, and it will be mandatory that it will every time select the A1 and it will enable the logo over there, because the recording was not based on the relative cell reference. If you want your recording to be based on the relative cell reference, that is whenever you select any cell and you want to apply the macro on any cell or any particular range, you simply need to enable this option, that is use relative references before recording any macro. So let's try this out. I'll select this and start the recording. I'll name this as use relative. I'll give the shortcut key as Ctrl T and save it in this workbook. This will use the relative reference. I will give this as the description. Now I'll start typing here. I'll say Yoda Learning. Say enter and stop recording. If you want, you can disable the use relative reference here. I'll use Ctrl T. Now here if you see, I can use that in any cell reference. So this is how you can record a simple macro using a macro recorder. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you. Hello, greetings everyone. In this video, I will show you how to edit a recorded macro and how to apply a shortcut key to a recorded macro. So let's start. I have a code in here in my Visual Basic, that is the active cell dot value is equal to Yoda Learning. So when I'll go to the macros and run this macro, here is my macro which is running. Now I want to edit this macro. Say I want to create a message box stated Learn VBA Excel. So here when I'll go to macros, I have to click on edit. You have to select the previously recorded macro and click on edit. Here I'll say enter, type message box space Learn Online VBA Excel. Now here when I'll run this code, if you see here, it has executed my code. It has displayed Yoda Learning and it has displayed a message box on the Excel sheet, that is Learn VBA Excel. So this is how you can edit a simple macro and make changes to the previously written code. Now I will show you how to assign a shortcut key to this macro. Okay, I'll simply X this out. Go to the macro. Here select the macro name, and on the right hand side, the last option, that is options, click on that. Here if you see, it is giving an option here where you can assign a shortcut key to the given macro. all you need to do is press the shortcut key. Say I want. The shortcut key should be Ctrl Shift W. I'll say OK. I'll cancel this out and I'll try using the shortcut key on my sheet. If you see here, my macro is running absolutely fine. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you. If you want that the macros should stay in the file, next time when you open the workbook where you have your macros recorded or written, you need to save your macro file with the extension that is .xlsm. So here I'll show you how to do that. Firstly, we'll create a small macro by recording it. Let's record a simple macro here. I'll say record a macro. But before that, I'll select the option that is use relative references and then start recording the macro. I'll name it as table format. I'll apply a shortcut key to this. I'll say Ctrl Shift T and store it in this workbook and say OK. Now here my recording is started. I want to create a small database format where I will apply the border to the selected number of cells. I will highlight the background of the header and font I want as red. So this will be the format that will be applied to any other number of cells that have the data. Now I'll stop recording here. Now say I want to apply the macro in some other sheet. I'll say Ctrl Shift T. So if you see, my macro is working absolutely fine here. Now I want that next time when I open this file again, the macro should stay in. Because if I directly close this file or if I normally save my workbook with the extension .xlsx, it won't save my file with the macro in it. If you want your macro to be saved in your workbook, you need to save it with the extension .xlsm, that is the macro enabled workbook. So this will be the option that we will be selecting to save the workbook. So when I'll select this and I'll save it in one of my hard drive, so I'll save it in D drive. I'll say save. Now when I'll go to the D drive, here if you see here, there is a small exclamation mark. This small exclamation mark will denote that it is a macro enabled workbook. Now when I'll reopen this file, which is a macro enabled file, it will give you a security warning. That is, your macros have been disabled. So when you click on this button, it will enable your macros. If you don't want that Excel should pop up this message next time when you open your macro enabled workbook, you can go to the File tab here, go to the options. In the options, there is an option that says Trust Center. Click on the Trust Center here. Again, in the Microsoft Excel Trust Center, here on the extreme right, there is an option that is Trust Center Settings. Click on that. Then in the left hand side, left pane, you have couple of options here. You need to go to the macro settings and say enable all macros when your file is open. So this option will not give you a pop-up message when your file will be opened. I'll say OK. OK. I'll X that out. Now I'll try reopening the file again. If you see, now it's not giving me a warning message that says enable your macros. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you. Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set this macro security setting level in your Excel application. Excel has the potential to contain the codes that manipulates the settings and the files on your computer that can infect your computer with the viruses. Security is a very crucial issue when you are working with the macros. If you open the worksheet containing the macros from outside sources, it can be harmful to your computer by default. By default, Excel protects you from running the macros that may potentially be harmful for your computer. But if you are creating your own macros, you probably need to change the security settings. With Excel 2007, Microsoft has modified its paradigm for protecting the Excel users from outside files that can contain your system damaging codes. Now I will walk you through the list of settings that will protect you from dangerous codes. We'll go to the File tab, go to the Options. In the Options, here in the left pane below, you'll find an option that is Trust Center. Click on that. The Trust Center contains security and privacy settings. These settings help keep your computer secure. We recommend that you do not change these settings. Now we will understand each and every option here in the Security Center. Now here you have to go to the Macro Security Settings here. Under Macro Settings, you have 4 options at the top. That is, the first one is disable all the macros without notification. Click this option if you don't trust the macros. The second option is disable all the macros with notification. This is the default setting for your computer. Click this option if you want the macros to be disabled, but you want to set the security alerts if there are macros present. The third one is disable all the macros except digitally signed macros. It is the same as disable all the macros with notification, except that if the macro is digitally signed by a trusted publisher. Last but not the least is enable all the macros. This option is generally not a recommended one. You only click this option to allow all the macros to run. This option is not recommended since it can run those malicious codes that can make your computer vulnerable. I hope the concept is clear to you regarding the macro security settings. Thank you. Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, I will show you how you can run the macros and what are the different ways. In an earlier video, I already showed you how to run a macro using a shortcut key. Now we will see how to run a macro without a shortcut key. So here I have already created a macro. I will run this macro. Let us run on the another sheet. I'll say run. If you see here, my macro is working. let's see the another way. So we have seen these two ways how to run a macro. Let's see how to apply an icon in the quick access toolbar. So in quick access toolbar, now we will apply an icon, or you can say assign an icon to the macro. For that, we need to go to the File tab here, go to the Options, click on the Quick Access Toolbar. From the left drop down, select Macros. It will list down your macros. Select the macro and click on Add. Now this will be a part of your Quick Access Toolbar the way the other options are. You can modify the icon of your macro. You can choose any icon that you want. I will select this icon and say OK. Here if you see, the icon is visible in the quick access toolbar here. I'll go to the sheet 2. I'll go to the quick access toolbar and try clicking on this icon. Now if you see, my macro is working. Now let's see the other way here, how to apply shapes and buttons. You can apply the shapes and buttons to a macro. Now how to do that? Let's see. We'll insert a shape here. Say I'll insert a button like shape. I'll type the text here. Say click me to view the database. I'll increase the font size here. Now here my shape is created. Now I'll right click on this shape and say assign a macro. This will help me to assign a macro to the following shape. Select the macro and click on OK. I'll click on A1 cell and click on this shape. You see here my macro is working. So that was with creating a shape and assigning a macro to the shape. Now we will see how to create a button and assign a macro to the button. For that you need to go to the Developer tab. Here under Controls group you will find the option Insert. Click on the drop down. Under Form Controls there is a button like icon. Click on that and assign a macro to this. So here is my button. You can edit the text on the button. Say I'll type here click. So that is how you can create a button and assign a macro to it. I'll remove this. Click on this. Here my macro is working. So I hope the concept of shapes and assigning the macro to the button is clear to you. So that was with the Excel interface, how you can run the macro. Now we will see how you can go to the VBA editor and run the macro. So these are the two ways which will help you to run the macro from within the code window. So let's see how to do that. For that you need to go to the VB editor. I'll click on edit. Here there is an icon that is run sub, or you can use F5 as the shortcut key to run the macro. I will go to sheet 2. I'll remove this. I'll go to my code window. Here I'll click on run. If you see here, my macro is running. I'll delete this out. What is the other way that you can run the macro? You can go to the view tab here and enable the immediate window. So this will help you to enable the immediate window here. From the immediate window, simply type the name of the macro here and say enter. Now this will help you execute your code. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you. Hello, greetings everyone. In this video, we will see how to store a given macro while recording. You can click on record macro here. Say I want to record a simple macro. Now here you can apply the name to this macro. Say I want to create a table format. I'll apply shortcut key Ctrl+Shift+W. Now here when you want to store the macro, it will ask you where exactly you want to store the macro. Whether you want to store it in the personal macro workbook, you want to store it in a new workbook, or you want to store it in this workbook. So if you say that you want to store it in this workbook, it will store the macro in the current workbook which recorded the macro and is set to be a local macro. That will mean every time the users want to run the macro, they will first have to load the file and then execute the macro. The second option is you can save your macro in a new workbook. It will store the macro to an unsaved new file and is generally used for distributing to the other users which they would need to load and run manually. And if you say you want to store it as a personal workbook, it is a specially reserved named file which is generated automatically to store the recorded macro. Macros that require a global use are stored in this type of a file. So when I say OK, now here my file will act as a personal workbook. I'll save it as macro enabled workbook. Say I want to save it in my D drive as book 2. So I have saved this. Now here it is asking me, do you want to save the changes you made to the personal macro workbook? If yes, the macro will be available next time you start Microsoft Excel. So I'll save this. I'll open it from D drive. The name of my file was book 2. Now here, well, I'll see over here Visual Basic. Now here if you see, it is showing me the result here that my file is saved as a personal file, personal macro file. Now when I'll go to Visual Basic here it will list you the personal files. Now here it has stored the table format macro. Now where exactly is this file stored? It will act as a startup code for your macro file. For locating your file, you need to go to your user account. In your user account, go to app data. In this, go to roaming profiles. In the roaming profiles, you have Microsoft. In Microsoft, you can try locating the Excel. Now in Excel, you have Excel Start. Now when you go to the Excel Start, you will find your personal file which is present here. So this will be loaded when you will open up your macro file where you have stored the macro as a personal file. Whenever you'll open a new workbook, when you'll go to the Visual Basic, it will open your personal code. Now this macro will be globally available to you whenever you want to use it in any of the workbook, because that is a hidden code. So since you have unhided your file, that is your personal file, it will open your actual file where your personal macro is stored. If you say hide, it will hide your personal workbook, and then you will be working on your actual workbook. So here all the macros will be available to you, including the personal macro code. But when you'll go to the personal file, only the personal code will be available to you, not the one which is available in the book 1. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you.